I'm doing my presentation on the Galapagos Rise. I chose the Galapagos Rise marine community. It is found in the Pacific Ocean, 1,000 kilometers south by southwest of the Galapagos Islands. It is around 2,700 meters deep. Geographical features would be described as a seafloor spreading center with hydrothermal vents and chemosynthetic ecosystems. The marine zone is a bathypelagic zone which its constant darkness and intense pressure in a deep sea environment. The dominant weather and current consist of localized circulation from the East Pacific Rise Current in deep thermohaline-driven flows, sustaining nutrient cycling and biodiversity. Other features of physical geography include variable sedimentation rates influenced by tectonic activity and hydrothermal plume deposits, elevated mineral concentrations from vent emissions, enriching the surrounding seafloor, and acoustic properties altered by high pressure, affecting sound transmission in the deep sea. Chemical oceanography. Oxygen levels are low because there isn't much circulation because it's down by the vents. Not to mention the vent organisms compete for what's left of the oxygen. There is a lot of carbon dioxide because it's by the vents. So the chemosynthetic bacteria have to rely on processing the inorganic carbon. There are nitrates and nitrites found, especially at the higher levels. Salinity and pH are not in consistent levels near the vents. Geological oceanography. There are lots of fine particles as well as hydrothermal plume deposits. Has rugged terrain including vent chimneys and rock formations caused by the hydrothermal vents. Sulfide chimneys are found in the area from the mineral-rich fluids coming from the vents. Has a considerably more amount of geothermal activity and mineral deposits compared with other marine communities. Promoting and limiting factors. Obviously, the primary limiting factor is the lack of light and therefore cannot have photosynthesis there. Additionally, there is a lack of oxygen because there is not a lot of circulation. The acidic water is also not great for shells and exoskeletons, and this can damage them and make it not do as well. The hydrothermal vents bring chemical energy, which is a promoting factor. Temperature is consistent, which is a promoting factor. Once it's adapted, you're good to go, although being okay with the heat is difficult to begin with. However, there is a amount of rugged terrain and cubby holes for various organisms to hide in, and this is also a promoting factor. Their adaptations also somewhat make sense. They have to either be something that can make energy itself or eat something that makes energy. The giant tube worm is one of the creatures that can do chemosynthesis for itself. And here's two pictures of the giant tube worm. Additionally, there is a vent crab, which has heat-resistant enzymes, which makes sense because it's so hot near the vents. And here's two pictures of him. I thought he was pretty neat looking. Additionally, there is the Pompeii worm that has proteins that are heat tolerant as well as a protective mucus layer. As I've stated before, everything revolves around the vents. The ultimate source of energy is the hydrothermal vents. Two of the primary producers are sulfur oxidizing bacteria, Theobacillus, and methane oxidizing bacteria. Methylomonas. Primary consumers consist of the vent shrimp, seen previously, and vent mussels. Secondary consumers consist of zarcoid fish and octopus. The deep sea octopus is actually considered the apex predator. Here is a picture of the octopus, here's a picture of the food web, and here are two pictures of the zarcoid fish themselves. As you can see here in our food web, the octopus is at the top and our chemosynthetic bacteria are along the bottom. Here's our fish hanging out within the tube worms that we've seen previously.